Hello Lineage 2 Revolution gamers, this is True Lies here with a video on how to use Nox, the Android emulator, on your PC. So real briefly, you want to go ahead and open up whatever browser you prefer, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, doesn't matter, and navigate to bignox.com. That's bignox.com. You'll come up to the home page. If you're on a Windows PC, you just click download. If you're on a Mac, make sure to hit the Mac version. Either way, if you are on a Mac, let's take a moment and talk about that. There are 3 ways to connect your account once you make it on Lineage 2 Revolution. You can connect with your Google account, you can connect with your Apple account, or your Facebook account. If you use a iPad or an iPhone, definitely connect via Facebook. That way you can switch freely back and forth between Android and Apple. Otherwise, you're stuck with an account that you cannot play on an Android device. You would have to start a new character from level 1, so please make sure you connect with Facebook. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But once you download the program, you'll have it on your desktop. It just takes a minute to download and install, just like any other program, and then you launch it. When you launch Nox, it'll originally come up with an ad, and it only takes maybe 20 seconds or so to launch, and then you'll be at a desktop, which is the same thing as when you launch your phone or what have you, or your tablet. You're at a desktop. Now, I have it set to auto launch Lineage 2. We'll talk about that in a moment, but basically, once you have it set up, all you do, this is the worst thing about Nox, this bar right here. This looks like a Google Play bar, but it's not. If I go ahead and search Chrome here, for example, I don't come up with Google Chrome as the top response or anywhere in there. This is a list of games or something that's directly related to Nox. So basically never use that bar. Instead, go to the Google folder, open up the Play Store, and if I was to type in Chrome here, you'll see much different results. You'll see Google Chrome as the main item, along with Google Chrome Beta and Firefox and other browsers, much more helpful result set. But anyway, once you're here, I typically like to install Gmail and Chrome or a browser first on the device. That way, if I need to email myself something to my Nox, I can, or if I need to go to a browser to get something, I can do that. But all you really need to do is to download Lineage 2 Revolution, which should be quite simple to do. Lineage 2, Netmarble, Revolution, what have you. Here it is, and you would click, and I already have it downloaded, as you can see. So once you have it there, you just need to run it. Now, I put it up here because every time you open up Nox, they're advertising a different game or program, and it'll install it, and it'll keep moving your icons around. If you go ahead and move it to the top left, that's what makes it easiest for you to always know exactly where it's at. So the game's launching. I'm going to take a moment here. These links, this is what I was talking about. When you first connect, you can log in with Google and connect, or you can connect with Facebook. And I'm suggesting for all Apple users to connect with Facebook. That way you can, you have to if you're going to use Nox. I don't know of another way. At least when we were on the C servers, there wasn't another way to do that. I don't use Apple myself, but from talking to Apple users, they were frustrated because they made a character and then they wanted to, this game allows you to play 24/7, but realistically, you can't play 24/7 from your phone or your tablet. It gets warm, it needs recharging, you go into airports and airplane mode and other things, but you can play 24/7 from a computer. So that's what any of these emulators allow you to do. Unfortunately, there are no Apple emulators. There are Android emulators. It's something to do with Apple's proprietary programming, what have you, but anyway, here's Nox, and it allows you to do that. So a couple things here. One, up here in this gear icon is the system settings for Nox. Here's what I recommend. If you want to launch on startup as soon as you reboot the computer to launch Nox, that's great. And then I recommend to uncheck balloon tips notifications so you don't constantly, oh, you launched Nox, oh, you logged into, launched L2, oh, you logged into game. All this kind of stuff. You don't want to keep getting these notifications, or at least I don't, so I uncheck this box. As far as advanced settings, you want whatever your computer has in terms of CPUs, you want to use them all. You need to have virtual threading turned on, which most later PCs will have that. And if not, you can click the help icon to see how to do that. But you want to go ahead and use multiple processors, and I set it with 3 gigabytes of memory, and that seems to do fine. You can use more. The other standard settings are fine, and then the frame settings, you only want to lower it from the max of 60 if you might use more than one client on a PC. And then the only other piece to talk about is this interface settings. On the side are the icons that you might use, and I went ahead here and I'm only showing the toolbar the icons I might use. The other ones you just click on and they'll move back and forth here. But the other settings, you can look at, but there's nothing too critical there. As far as Lineage 2, and I'm going to mention this especially because of how it works with Nox and how much computer power you're using, you have to decide on these settings, and you can see what I've used to start with. But basically, I don't play with game sounds on, so that can be the lowest. And the other settings, if you're going to run more than one client, it just really depends on how much of a beast of a computer you have and the decisions you make as far as how much of a quality of the actual picture you want versus smoother gameplay from multiple accounts. But that's a quick tutorial on how to set up Nox and how to use it to play Lineage 2 Revolutions. Hope you have a great time gaming.